Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Guitar Souls podcast. This is episode number 45, or Cult 45, as we've decided. Hopefully, we're turning into a bit of a cult now.
It'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Not like a Hess cult or a TTM cult, but, you know, a cult nonetheless.
Cult of personality, that's exactly what we want.
Some people like us, most people hate us, but I can live with that.
Yes.
I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Levi Clay, and I'm here, as usual, with my good friend Mike McLaughlin. How's it going, man?
I was going to say good, but, you know, I had a couple of shit days at work, and I don't talk about my work, but I am, let's say, a specialist courier. Yeah. And they've been taking the piss a bit recently. It's been a bit hard going. So
I like the idea that people are going to speculate on what a specialist courier is.
I drop off speculums.
Right.
Just because you said speculate came out of my head, I'm sorry.
So you're, no, everybody knows you transmit, that's not the right word, transport, let's go with that. You're like Jason Statham, you're the transporter. You transport organs for things.
Don't tell everybody. It's supposed to be a secret.
I know. So we're hoping today is going to be the Rage episode for you, but
yes.
But that's cool.
I said to a friend before I came here that I was just going to call everything and everyone a cunt. That was today's mood, but I've kind of lightened up since then, so
I'm okay with that.
I'll selectively call things cunt.
I'm trying to think about what we've got to talk about today, and if any of them will allow you to drop that cunt bomb.
I can see one right now.
But yeah, of course, one of them is Lance Benedict and TTM, so I'm sure you're going to get to. I know people must be sitting there thinking, again, you talking about that shit again?
But it's a great update. Yeah. You just.
So I'll tell you what, I'll open the show with something not here. I mentioned this on my Facebook, and I was going to do a video on this subject, but, you know, been busy.
I heard about this.
See the copyright situation?
I seen your post about it, but I haven't seen any more. I didn't look into it.
Yeah, so some guy on YouTube re-uploaded one of my old vlogs. I forget which one it was. Guitar competitions, maybe. You know, just me ranting about something. And he re-uploaded it to his channel and put subtitles on it. And of course, YouTube are very good at notifying you about this because it's digital, right? You know, if somebody uploads the same video, the system will flag as, oh, this is the same as that other video.
You'd hope so.
Yeah. So I got a notification and I was like, cool. Click a button, remove the video, file a strike against him. Because rightfully so, it's not fair use. You're just re-uploading my entire video. Like the key argument with fair use is does it usurp the market for the original video? Does your use of the video remove people's need to see the original video? And in this case, yeah, 100%. Like if you've uploaded my video incomplete with subtitles to it, some would argue there's even less reason to visit mine than yours because yours has the added benefit of subtitles to it. So I filed a copyright strike against him. And I've done this, I don't know, maybe 10 times in the last couple of years. It's happened a few times, people uploading my music and stuff. But a couple of days ago, I got a counter notification. The guy actually filed a counter notification, which is when you're like, no, this isn't copyright violation. No, I will sign my name against under penalty of perjury that I have the legal right to use this, which is, you know, fine if you want to be stupid and try and abuse the copyright system like that. By all means, go ahead. The problem is, you know, the DMCA takedown notification system that YouTube have in place. The only reason they have it in place is to protect themselves, right? So if illegal content gets uploaded, the copyright owner gets to make a claim, and then YouTube goes, cool, we did our part, we removed it. And then when it was disputed, well, we had to put it back up because it's not for us to make a decision. Now, if you guys want to take this further, you have to go the legal route. So that's what YouTube said to me. They're like, cool, here's the guy's information. He's signed under penalty of perjury that he has the right to do it. So if you want us to remove the video, you'll need to send us proof of your impending lawsuit. I'm like, over a video? Really? I mean, fortunately, they provided me with the guy's contact information. And there's some guy in Russia. I'm not going to generalize, but it's the Wild West out there for piracy of music. As soon as new music goes up, people initially consider it a success. Oh, look, I've released an album. Look, they're pirating it in Russia already. And then you quickly realize that, no, that's just the scene out there. They'll do that.
There's a guy who comments on almost every band you can imagine in the death metal scene's music. So you can think about 3 bands. I can think of quite a few. Mm-hmm. Anyway, you see it consistently. Like, thank you for the new album. I got it from whatever website. Cheers. Like, straight to the band. Yeah. And everybody's always like, you are a grade A dickhead. Why are you even posting?
Yeah.
And separate but kind of similar. There's a lot of content on YouTube for kids that seems to be bot generated.
Yes.
And I think the majority of it is coming from Russia. Like, videos of essentially Grand Theft Auto 5 reskinned so that your car is Lightning McQueen from Cars, and your character is Spider-Man, and weird.
That's there's lots of videos on that particular subject. That's a very kind of shady thing that's been going on YouTube, and it racks up billions of views.
Oh, aye. Like some of the videos that Finlay used to watch, you'd look at it and be like, 135 million views, and it's only a month old. Like, what the fuck? And it's just generating so much money.
Yeah.
Because of course they put the advertising revenue on. There's no reason not to.
Yeah. So the guy did email me back, and he said, "What? I haven't got advertising on it." I'm like, "So?
It's not yours?"
Yeah, it's not yours. And he's like, "But I've added subtitles to it. I'm doing it to help people." It's like, again, cool. If you want to help people, though, and you're not making any money from it, then why not submit your subtitles to me, and I can put them on my original video? And, you know, if you're telling me that there's a market out there in Russia and you think people would enjoy my content, why don't you work with me and help me reach those people rather than just try and take my content and put it up yourself? So we went back and forth a little bit, and he didn't seem to want to budge. But fortunately, because of my legal dealings that I've had in the past, I have a lawyer. So I went down that route. I just essentially said to him, "Look, okay, cool, fine. If you want to fight, we'll fight over this. I'll have my lawyer contact your lawyer. Can you give me his contact information, please, so he can deal direct with your lawyer, please?" And then as soon as you go down that route, people start to take things a little bit more seriously. And he's like, "Well, what do you want me to do?" I'm like, "I fucking told you, take my video down. You don't have the right to have it up, and you certainly shouldn't be filing counter notifications because it's not cricket." So yeah, don't like having to do that bully thing, but I think it's important to protect your content.
That's not bully, that's standing up for yourself.
I know. I actually had a great YouTube channel. It's in the Ormsby chat that we have with Perry, that guitar video, the review video of the Ormsby. So the guy that made that video reached out to me and said, "Hey Levi, big fan of your channel. Just wanted to let you know, just wanted to ask your permission. Like, I've done a video on, I think it was guitar competitions, something along those lines. And there's a section in one of your videos where you talk about something. And I just thought that you put it in better words than I ever could. Would you be okay if I used it as a clip in my video?" And I was like, "Absolutely, of course. Thank you so much for asking. No need to ask because it's absolutely fair use. But yeah, awesome."
Just a bit of respect, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then he's like, "Well, I've got thanks very much, man. I've got this new channel." So I went and checked out some of his videos, and really, really good. It'd be really helpful if I could remember the name of his channel. Wouldn't
Post a link in the description.
I mean, I won't remember to do that, will I? But I'll bring it up now, just so I remember. Anyway, yeah. So hopefully that situation has been put to bed. So there's that long angry rant at the beginning. You didn't get nearly as angry in that as I was expecting you to get. I was giving you the opportunity to drop some C-bombs.
Cunt.
Boyakasha.
You actually say
There you go, I did it.
Thank you.
You asked me
Thank
to.
you.
Right.
I said that when we were sorting out the sound levels earlier, and I asked Levi to say it, and he was like, "No, never. I will never do that." And I was like, "Just do it. I'm in a bad mood." And he's like, "Maybe. We'll see."
Just want to cheer you up.
Oh, you're such a sook. So
Cool.
he is.
Right, got it here.
Anyway, how are you keeping? I didn't ask you back. I'm sorry.
I just mad. Like I sawed a hole in my thumb today with an actual saw.
That was stupid.
Yeah. Tomorrow I've got another 30 pieces of 3 meter long wood coming, and I'm going to reinforce the roof in the studio before I put the gyprock up, because, well, you saw it. You saw how heavy that stuff is. That's
Do you mean I saw how heavy it was? I carried most of it.
That's some heavy duty insanity. So not looking forward to that, but we'll get there.
Totally worth it.
So the YouTube channel is KDH, just KDH, and he has a couple of videos up, Norm's VSX GTR review, and I actually subscribed to his channel because I really did enjoy his presentation. And I you know what, I've got it up. So I had a bit of a joke with him because I was watching his video, and it got to him playing, and it cut to this clip. And I'm like, "Jesus Christ, man, you've got the longest body I've ever seen of any human ever. How tall are you? This man is a giant." Yeah, so
He makes a fan fret look standard.
He
Nice.
does.
That's a beautiful guitar as well, man. Good choice. Oh,
Yeah.
the wenge neck.
So KDH, go and check him out. I did enjoy stuff, and that's what we like. That's what we need. We need people we need content creators. Of course, we want to be content creators, but we need to work with each other rather than trying to screw each other over. So
Yes.
that's always nice. I've just seen Peter has messaged me and mentioned about Volbeat. God, I hate that band.
Why don't you start the rant then? Because I don't mind them.
What, Volbeat? Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I'll read. Peter, you have timed this very well. The message has literally come in while we are doing the podcast.
Perfect.
Our favourite band, Volbeat, has cancelled a show in Belfast after playing one song, and people are understandably demanding a refund. To be fair, I would only pay to go to one of their shows if I knew they were going to cancel.
Sounds like something you would say.
Yeah. Is that a cancellation? If you turn up and play a song and then stop playing, is that a cancellation?
You're cancelling the rest of the show. What would you consider it?
I don't know. To just cancel is, to me, is like, you don't turn up, you cancel something.
You know what it is? The fucking weak sauce. That makes you a cunt.
Me personally? Or?
No, Volbeat.
Yeah.
If you were any band or were a single artist out playing, you went to a show, the effort of going to the show, made a single song, and then left, you're a cunt.
Yeah.
Don't know what the scenario is, but who cares?
Well, there's a nice segue in there, isn't there? We love a segue on this show.
Go on.
Oh, no, before we do that, you know what? Big thank you to our supporters and sponsors. We got so into the chat at the start of the episode.
That just ranting away.
We ranted, which is fine. So the segue has disappeared, but I should just say a big thank you to Ormsby Guitars.
Woo!
Let me bring up their website for you.
Some beautiful handmade guitars, obviously, in Australia. Then, obviously, there's the GTR run and soon to be the GTX run. They're not out just yet. Coming straight from World Music Factory. Beautiful. Obviously, the two I have are straight from there. Have you seen recently that there is a semi-custom setup? So essentially,
I saw the pictures that Perry had sent to us, but we can't share those.
No. There's actually some really good ones on the Facebook at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Beatle put some up. Essentially, the idea being that you will have a guitar that you can customise to some degree off the shelf. Mm-hmm. So you have a semi-custom directly from them at, as far as I'm aware, stupidly competitive pricing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, what I'm going to do this episode is I'm going to feature a guitar, and I often forget that when we are doing the podcast, lots of people do listen to this as an audio podcast.
That's fair.
We just assume people are watching videos. So for those listening, what I have up on screen at the moment is an Ormsby Metal V GTR multiscale. Now, we all know what this is. This is essentially a Randy Rhoads, right? A Randy Rhoads Jackson.
This one's the actual tribute.
But yeah, with the, so it's, white with a pinstripe. But of course, it's super cool because it's multiscale. Now, I've said many times, multiscale 6 strings, not for me. But of course, you can get this in 7-string. Do they do an 8-string of the V?
I think there's 8-string V and X's to come, but not at the moment.
Yeah. So, here it is up on Reverb. You could buy it right now for just over £1,000, £1,055, which is just a killer price for a great, well-built guitar. And yeah, as we say, they are made in World Music in Korea, is that right?
Yes.
World Music in Korea, but then of course they are shipped over to Perry and the team, set up in Australia and then sent out.
There are some guitars that the exception to that are, which is if you buy from a dealer, right. They go to the main distributor for Europe. Right, okay. And they have Perry's blessing for setups. Sure. So I'd imagine they are.
It's going to be the same thing. Like Perry's built, enough of a following out of respecting his brand enough to not do a bad job of it.
Yes, we won't jeopardise it over the sake of setups. Yeah. For sure.
So, thank you very much to the guys over at Ormsby. Please do head on over, check them out, let them know we sent you. And of course, if you do buy one, let us know. Send us a picture. We love looking at them.
If you're going to buy one or you want to buy one or you are considering divorce in terms of getting a guitar, just send us pictures anyway. We love guitar porn.
Yeah. So I'm going to go back to that segue that I tried to do earlier.
The segue was not giving a fuck, correctly?
The segue is about live stuff and not giving a fuck.
Ah, yes.
You see what I've done there?
Oh,
so we're going to talk about the HAARP machine, or as I've now named them, the Help machine.
The HAARP machine.
Well, that's what we called them last time, the HAARP machine.
Yes.
So tell us the story.
So HAARP machine were playing at Euroblast, I believe the festival was. Came on stage. Al Moomin decided he was too tired, or I think he said he was ill, to play guitar live, so came on and did the vocals. Now, he's not the vocalist, and credit where credit's due, he went out and tried, but honesty where honesty's due, he tried and failed.
But he did. So did he not also have 2 guitarists? Yes. So are they normally a 3-guitar band?
I don't think so. I don't know. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. I'm too tired to play guitar, but I'm going to sing something that's considerably more strenuous.
I think the rumours are that he practiced in a room completely separate to everyone else as well. Now, I know they've got one guitarist, as far as I remember, it's Kevin Heiderich, who also plays for Defeated Sanity. I think he's got quite a decent YouTube channel where it's him just playing stuff at insane speeds. He's a ridiculous guitarist. He plays, as weird as it is, he plays like a really cheap Ibanez, like an entry-level RG. It's not as low as like a Geo, but like something.
Yeah, like a cheap Ibanez.
Yeah, something you could pick up off the shelf, but he is tremendous. The other guitarist, I'm not sure who that was, but the band, from all reports I've heard, were spectacularly tight.
Yeah, we've got some clips, or we've got a clip that we're going to look at, and the band do sound super, super on point, but Al Moomin singing, it's just the worst thing you've ever heard.
Yeah.
And I hear people were walking out. Is that right? People were just...
I got photos of the crowd. But look at this video. Like you're going to bring the video up,
let's
right?
watch it. Let's watch it.
For those that can't see, imagine a big stage with a lot of really impressive lighting, like a good sized venue, and a smattering of people watching. There's maybe, and I'm not kidding, head count, maybe 20 people.
Yeah. So I'm going to hit play. I'm just going to, we'll listen to this and then we'll talk about it. So it sounds like this.
See, when I got first sent the clip, that was far too close to being in tune, right? But do you not think it sounds like a Shreds video?
Yeah.
Because it's so well layered.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've taken the audio for the desk or whatever.
Yeah, every time I hear this, I don't believe it to be real, but it is in fact real, because we've got multiple different camera shots of this. So let's enjoy that again.
The band are super tight.
Yeah.
Right. But what I will say is this, right? For anyone who helped crowdfund the album that we've not heard anything about since, at least you know Al hasn't stolen the money for vocal lessons.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Definitely no. I think the guy needs a lot more money. He needs to make a lot more money and get some sort of fucking personality transplant, because clearly he is an insufferable person to have to work with. Maybe it's the nature of what we do as a show, but we constantly talk about people like that.
Yeah.
You know, your Lucas Manns of the world. What's the guy from
Charles Caswell?
Faceless?
Or the Faceless, Michael Keane.
Michael Keane, yeah. It's just, yeah. Why are we always drawn to these monumental fatty McFuckheads?
Here's a really weird parallel, right? Why are some of the best songwriters also the worst musicians?
Is that true? Best?
I don't know about best, right? But in terms of that genre and field of music, when it comes to tech metal guitar stuff, really, they're very inventive and absolutely, for creativity, up there. Lucas Mann, credit where credit's due, is great when it comes to harmony and having little melodies and counter melodies, etc. They're all just really catchy, but it's not a guitar. It's not a guitar. Charles Caswell, not a guitar.
Yeah.
Al Moomin, even the video where he's playing the Strandberg and it's just him in a room and he's playing riffs and you're like, that is MIDI.
Yeah.
I can see you are physically playing the riff, that's great, but that's not how a guitar sounds.
No.
That's how Guitar Pro sounds.
Yeah.
Things like that. It's just like, come on.
Yep.
Michael Keane's kind of the other way. Like, he could play guitar. I'm going to say can, but could, depending what state he's in. And that's one that kind of saddens me to talk about, because that guy's obviously got issues. It's not like a wank problem like the rest of them.
Sure. Like addiction, yeah. It changes your personality.
Oh, totally. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I totally digressed there.
Cool. It's all right. I'm going to move on to another subject. The mystery one. You didn't really understand this one, right?
Of course I didn't.
Yeah, no.
You just put a fucking screenshot up and went, don't worry, it's relevant.
Yeah. Well, this fits really nicely in with one of the comments, one of the feedback things, one of the arguments I had with someone in the comment section of the last video, where
Tell Mike to be more understandable.
No, where I was berated for being politically ignorant,
right.
and then accused of being. Initially, it was right leaning, and then it was far right, and
Definitely you.
Yeah, I know. And then the more I had the discussion with this guy, the more and more it turned out his actual main position was that he identifies as Antifa, and
okay.
Yeah, and on the one hand, wanted to acknowledge that what we were talking about on the show, because it's not a centralized organization. Therefore, there's no leadership. Therefore, anyone can act under the banner. Therefore, you can't pin the actions of individuals to the banner. Which fair enough. He would more than happily denounce when I'm sending him videos of them being violent to, I don't know, pensioners. Why? Because they're wearing MAGA hats.
As stupid as this sounds, right, and I don't usually get into that side, even of YouTube, never mind conversation.
Sure.
There was a video I saw, and it was genuinely, right, let's call him a freelance journalist, right, so a chap with a microphone, another guy with a camera, went to an Antifa protest or whatever it was, and was just trying to talk to people. Genuinely was not even being rude to them.
Sure.
And a couple of the guys started acting like he was causing problems, so they would stand round him with their arms crossed.
Yeah.
And he was like, you don't intimidate me. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I've trained for years, etc. And he was a big laddie, right?
Yeah.
One of them threw a slap or something, man, and this guy took down about 6 of them, including ones who started the fight and then tried to run away. And I was like, why are you trying to start fights that you're not willing to actually participate in? Why are you being a cunt?
My position, why are you starting fights?
Alright, well, that's it, right? But I suppose people do get heated and do stupid things, but if you are big and stupid enough to throw a punch or a slap or any sort of fight and talk, then follow it through. At least man up to not man ups, but own up to the consequences of what's going to happen.
Yep.
If you act stupid and someone is going to punch you, you deserve to be punched. Therefore, take the punch and learn your lesson.
Yeah, I'm not interested in all of these defences that... and I did, for anyone that wants to look, go check the last YouTube video. I pinned his comment because I thought the discussion... it's not the kind of thing that I wanted to hide. You know,
I must have missed that then, because I usually do go through the YouTube comments. But
it's one that I want people to see, because the defences are just they're pathetic. It's but I'm not interested when journalists come up and then try and antagonise them and try and provoke violence out of them. It's like, why play into their hand then? If they're trying to provoke violence out of you, don't be violent. Just don't be fucking violent. Don't be violent. It's very easy. Don't be fucking violent.
Is it? Maybe this is my main sticking point with this full scenario, right? Because as I said, I'll admit I'm quite politically ignorant when it comes to Antifa and versus blah blah blah, right? Surely, almost everybody considers themselves anti-fascist.
Yes, of course.
So why do you think this is a banner that you must keep yourself under? You're not.
Well, that's what like when I'm very anti the movement, it makes it sound like I'm pro-fascism, but that's a stupid.
No, I don't think anyone who's ever said I am against Antifa has ever came across as I don't believe in fighting fascism.
Yeah,
I just don't see it.
Yeah,
it's very fascist of the Antifa to try and claim that they're fighting for it and no one else should be taken by force.
For anyone that's concerned at this point, don't worry, we are absolutely going towards a guitar-related subject with this.
No, we're not. But for anyone who's listening, this is now turning into a politics and morality conversation.
The point is, the reason I brought this up is because to be accused of being very, very right-wing is one thing. I don't consider myself that. I consider myself the devil's advocate in almost every situation. I love taking up the opposite position.
As a straight white male, that is almost a default position. Yeah. I've had to train myself not to do it because I realise how badly it can actually go wrong. But that's because I'm not good at fighting arguments.
Yeah, well, and also, if I was far right, this relationship, you and me, wouldn't work because you're quite heavy left.
Yeah.
Which...
well, to a degree, like...
You're not far.
No, but I don't mean like that, sorry. I mean to a degree as in like it wouldn't work. I'm kind of like yourself. You might not match on even any political views on the world, but it doesn't mean you can't be friends with someone.
Sure.
However, that's a totally different point.
Yeah, the reason I bring that up and why we're going with this story is now we get back to what we were talking about. So Clive Palmer. Does anyone remember Clive Palmer? Do you remember who Clive Palmer was? I saw this story and was like, this is funny. The story is, I will bring this up. I'll minus this. Bring the volume down. In January 2018, a video was released by Friendly Geordies lampooning the mining billionaire Clive Palmer. The video came and went, months passed, and all seemed well with the world, for the most part. However, on the eve of the federal election, the video was re-released. We're going somewhere with this. I'm reading his comment, and this was the result. So, I'm going to bring the guy up.
That is a sterling jawline.
I'd like to take this opportunity to announce that I've been enlightened by the Buddha as a very fat man who believes in karma has taught me that I require no worldly possessions in order to attain bliss. In other words, Clive Palmer's suing me for defamation. He seems to have taken...
Yeah, right. So, Clive Palmer. We talked about Clive Palmer before because he was the Australian politician that took Twisted Sister's We're Not Going to Take It.
That's right.
And sort of turned it into a right-leaning political anthem. And Dee Snider was very vocal about not wanting them to be doing that because he didn't agree with its use. And Clive Palmer wanted to fight it because he was of the opinion that I have the right to use this, and actually Dee Snider didn't write this song because it's he was trying to claim that it's just actually an adaptation of a Christmas carol. I forget which. There's a Christmas melody that's very similar to that, but of course, idiot.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. It wasn't even like that, but it was something stupid.
Yeah.
I remember, it comes back to me now, because I remember when we were talking about Dee Snider, and we also spoke about Frank Zappa, talking about what was it, the name of the, is it not the RIAA, but the Mothers Against Offensive Music or something in the 90s.
Oh, yeah,
remember, because we watched the video of Dee Snider going in and just... it was decimating
Yeah.
Clive Palmer, but then we also watched Frank Zappa decimating them. Sorry, right, continue. Makes sense.
Anyone that's listening now needs to go and watch this video. They need to go and watch this video. It's awesome. It's a very right-leaning politician trying to silence a not far, but moderate left-leaning political commentator and comedian. And me being me, very pro-freedom of speech... It's ridiculous. The notion is ridiculous. This is a very, very entertaining video. Honestly, very, very fucking entertaining.
Surely the only argument he would have is it's not satire, it's defamation. But of course it's satire.
Of him over the years, and as such, I now know how one of those deadbeat dads on Maury Povich feel when he announces that they are not the father. Very happy. I was involuntarily doing this while reading his letter. But you see, in Clive's attempt to pervert the law, he made one tiny miscalculation, and that is, I'm a millennial. Going bankrupt doesn't scare me. I don't have a house. Thanks to your 4-decade-long support of the coalition, you took anything of value away from me before I was even born, Clive. I have as many assets as you have seats in Parliament. None. I'm not going to capitulate to you, you fat toad. Which is not a defamatory term. You're an introduced pest to Queensland of plague-like proportions, and it would be my absolute privilege putting as much public attention on that fact as possible. In short... See you in court, Tub.
Yeah, so
tremendous.
That's a minute and a half into the video, and it's a 26-minute video where he absolutely decimates the legal letter, ridiculing the notion of defamation and all the points that when he's calling like I don't know, Fatty McFuckhead. That's why I said that earlier. When he called him Fatty McFuckhead, he's defining legally how not only is that an opinion, but it's also an observable fact by pulling up numerous clips of Clive in the past calling himself fat.
I'm not surprised that you like this.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine this being how you would handle something if it came to it.
Oh, absolutely. I enjoyed it because standing up for freedom of speech very, very important, and but also just
in a very clever way.
The manner with which he's done this.
Oh, because he's like, not only am I going to annoy you, I'm going to ruin you in court. I'm going to make a tit of you, and you're going to have to apologise.
Yeah,
you are the fanny here.
Yeah,
in all cases.
Yeah. So this is, as I say, this is on Friendly Geordies. That's friendly as you'd expect, and Geordies IES channel.
IES.
And the video is simply called Fatty. And yeah,
It's done quite well in views. It's 700,000 in 2 weeks.
yeah. So
Let's boost that.
very entertaining video. Can't stress that. Very, very entertaining. Everyone needs to go watch it. Very funny. And I knew it was such a thin link to the podcast that we've done thus far. The main reason I put it up is because I wanted to be reminded of it to encourage you to check it out at some point, because you will just laugh at this.
Oh, I was laughing at that minute and a half intro. Yeah. I was trying not to laugh audibly so it would come through the mic, but I couldn't help myself. Now, I do like this, but what else have we got? Where else are we going with that? I've totally lost my train of thought. My brain has went completely blank. I had a segue and it went... I'm really tired.
Were you trying to segue into another thing to talk about?
Yes.
I can always do that.
Really badly.
Yeah. So this is going to result in some sort of lawsuit, hopefully. Fingers crossed. There's another lawsuit that I've just been informed about that
Great
we can
segue.
absolutely talk about.
I had a good one too and it just went...
Were you going to segue to the same story?
No, but...
Okay. Cool.
Absolutely fine.
So I have been sent the court documents for... I'm not going to bring this up on screen because I need to redact... private information,
of course,
from it, and I don't want to just make my life complicated with that. I've not redacted the information in this yet. But for anyone that's wanting the detailed information, looking for some sort of identifying number,
is that at the very top?
It may be that bit there. 19STCV30650, assigned for all purposes to, and then there's some personal information. This is essentially a document for Superior Court, the state of California, County of Los Angeles, Step Ahead Music LLC, filing a lawsuit against none other than Mr. Lance Benedict.
Mm-hmm.
And they have been very clever about it, because they have they're not just suing Lance under Lance Benedict, but all known aliases, because he has lots of known aliases, and these are the types of things that you would go for,
especially given the complaint of damages for.
Yeah, I'll give you a basic rundown. So he's being sued for fraud, breach of fiduciary duty, and breach of contract and accounting.
Why would a man with multiple aliases ever be considered a fraudster?
I know, right?
Or be sued for fraud?
So you haven't looked at this, have you? You're not sure of the ins and outs of this, are you?
I haven't seen any of this.
Okay, so
you didn't put this in the group. This is new to me.
Yeah, the basic rundown here is that there was a guy around December last year that was approached by Lance with the option to invest in TTM guitars. The guy decided to invest in TTM guitars, setting up his company, Step Ahead Music LLC, at the same time, and moving forward. He was supposed to have a 36% share in the company, therefore has a financial interest in the company, was never listed on anything as having a financial interest in the company, despite pushing Lance to go, well, why has this not been filed with the relevant agencies, etc.? Like, I've invested money. I've not mentioned how much money yet. We'll do that. I've invested money, and I have financial interest in this, and I actually should be having a say on things that happen with the business now. Mm-hmm. You've been selling franchises to people, which is essentially giving people shares in the company.
When I haven't
agreed to any of this.
Yep.
I've not got any of these things. You have breached the contract. You have not respected and followed fiduciary duty. You are not providing me with any sort of accounting information. And let's also remember that TTM Guitars LLC, Lance dissolved that company. That company doesn't exist anymore.
That's right.
So a company that there are contracts in place that someone else should own part of, somehow got dissolved, and we can bring up those dissolution documents, and in said documents there's no other interests listed. Nobody else has any interest. The only person that's necessary to file these documents would be Lance Benedict. So absolutely this person wasn't involved in TTM, but claims that he was and has the contracts. The fun part about this is he is demanding a jury trial. He's demanding a jury trial, which is, he wants his day in court. And I understand why, because he invested $100,000 in TTM guitars.
No, he gave Lance Benedict $100,000, like a very silly man. Now, fair play, maybe he's not that silly. Maybe he was like, cool, I understand that all investments are a financial gamble, because he clearly isn't stupid, because he's went, these are all the things that you need to do, Lance, before I'm happy.
Yeah.
None of these things have been met. Okay, we can go to court then. And he's clearly, from just what you've told me in the last 30 seconds, on the fucking ball.
Yeah. So this isn't a
At least
particularly
your solicitors
long legal document. For anyone with no experience in reading legal documents, some reading things like this can be a hard read. In fact, I wouldn't even enjoy reading it out loud because it's that much of a pain to read legal documents. There's lots of repeating of words.
You know what I love about it? You can tell that it's just meticulous, so there is no misunderstanding of whatsoever.
Yeah.
Of the nature of their relationship as business partners, colleagues, whatever.
Yep.
And him as an investor and what he expects to get back. Good.
Yep. So just looking at like point number 12, pursuant to the member agreement, Sam, which is Step Ahead Music, Sam made a contribution of $100,000 to purchase a 36% ownership in TTM guitars. Despite repeated requests by Sam, Benedict has failed and continues to fail to amend the TTM guitars operating agreement to include Sam's membership interests in accordance with the member agreement, submit any of the necessary paperwork to the California Secretary of State, including but not limited to an appropriate statement of information which reflects Sam's interest in TTM guitars, provide any of the information required by the membership agreement, including but not limited to financial documents, other contracts, books and records, blah, 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 blah. It just goes on and on and on. 6 pages. And this was filed the 29th of August. So this is, Lance is still well within his time to respond to this. And of course, the beauty of the legal system is that it's public record, right? So what happens with this, assuming it doesn't get settled out of court, and I can't imagine this will be settled out of court because the guy is going for exemplary and punitive damages in the amount determined at trial for costs and the suit as allowed by law, prejudgment interest, and for such other and further relief as the court may deem just and proper.
So essentially he's wanting everything he can get.
He's not going just for the I've invested $100,000 into this. He's not just going, I want my $100,000 back.
No, I want
money on top of that.
Yep. For the time you've wasted, the money I could have made, the efforts I've put in to start a company, the lack of communications, the hassle you've caused, the legal costs that have now been ensued. Quite right. Fucking good on him, man. Go for that fucking jugular.
Yeah. The only part that I'm a little bit iffy about with this is this business agreement happened long after Lance had been outed by me. So information was out there. So I'm kind of like, you invested $100,000 in someone that I had demonstrated was a fucking shitbag.
But not everyone checks your YouTube
No,
channel.
of course, but
like...
absolutely fair, right? But here is like the main issue with this, right? This isn't about people watching my YouTube channel. This is about anyone that's listening to this now that sees this, anyone that hears this, tell someone. This is information, and I'm not saying tell someone about me. I don't care about that. It's tell someone about the situation. Make sure this guy's name is everywhere out there. Make sure when the guy turns up and tries to talk to people, they go, hang on a minute, where have I heard your name before? And they remember, because that's what stops shit like this spreading. I'm not interested in growing my own brand out of this. Of course, that would be nice. But the reason I take on stories like this is because I fucking care about this community that we have. And I don't like people being taken advantage of in it.
And that's fair. And I don't mean to shit in your parade, but this isn't the first time Lance has done this under TTM guitars.
Yeah.
So people are clearly ignorant enough to go, oh, that says made in USA and only cost $1,100. Let me buy 2.
Yeah. Actually, there's one on Reverb at the moment that they've slashed down to $250 and it still isn't selling. So.
Not even worth that. I wouldn't put it in the fire for $250.
But so the reason I bring that up is because Guitar Summit happened last week.
Yes.
And TTM Europe were there. And a lot of pressure was applied to Guitar Summit to stop them from being there. To protect their members, to protect people that were going to the show. I spoke with Guitar Summit, and Andrew Katina spoke with Guitar Summit as well.
Is that the chap that runs all the shreds?
Yes.
Okay.
And essentially Guitar Summit said, we are not interested. We have spoken to NAMM, and they're not telling us that Lance has been banned. All they're saying is that he's not an exhibitor. And it's like, well, of course they're saying that. That's what they're going to say. Why would they go into details of people that... You know, what all you need to see is the fact that for months and months and months, Lance has promoted the fact he was going to be at NAMM, and now he is no longer promoting that, and he's removed all mention of it. Why would that be? Because he's been told that he's not allowed to appear at NAMM. So I do have to take issue with Guitar Summit themselves. In fact, they said to Andrew, do not report about us on this. Yeah.
Fuck you.
And
How does that sound?
It doesn't work like that. Yeah, fuck you guys. I warned you. You had vouchers. It wasn't just me approaching you out of the blue. You know full well that I was vouched for by several high up people in the industry that all said, listen to what Levi's saying to you. Like he is someone that he's not just a nobody out of the blue that's just like screaming into the darkness. He wouldn't reach out to you if he didn't have a good reason to.
Yep.
He wouldn't be reaching out for if he didn't have the business's best interest at heart. So they ignored me. They ignored Andrew. So as far as I'm concerned, fuck them. But I guess the important thing is, like what I keep saying, the reason I bring this up is it's that spreading, right? It's I talk to you about this, you tell someone, that person tells someone. When we knew that this was going to happen, when we knew that this company was going to be represented at Guitar Summit, me approaching them isn't enough. It needs to be lots of us collectively saying to Guitar Summit, hang on a minute.
As a community,
Bingo.
we say no.
Bingo. I'm you know what, I'm fucking tired of it. I'm fucking tired. And I'm so glad that Andrew took up the sword on this one. Right? I'm so tired. In the last 5 years, I have done so much what you would call investigative journalism. Right? I've put myself in the crossfires, in the firing line, constantly leading the charge. I'm the guy at the front with the sword running into battle with everyone behind me going, I don't need that anymore. I need some people to take up fucking arms with me. I need you all to
doing that.
Well, it's just exhausting being just constantly just like running into battle and like not achieving anything because it's just one person. Like we need to we need to unionize. Yep, super right wing me. We need to function as a union and not let people like this take advantage of us. Yeah, so there you go. Lance Benedict being sued for $100,000.
No,
that's not even the only lawsuit that he's going through.
Being sued for way more than that, mate,
Yeah.
let's be honest.
Yeah.
Being sued over $100,000.
Yes.
However, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And just by the sounds of it, fuck Guitar Summit. What a terrible attitude.
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes me sad because like I would have loved to have gone out there at some point and hung out with a bunch of my friends, but I can't in good conscience now. And I'm not saying that you guys listening to this should be taking the same attitude, but you should be taking the same attitude because it's not like people are going to get scammed.
Yep.
People are going to lose money because of this man. You had the opportunity to be on the right side of history and to stop it from happening. And the key thing is here, we're not speculating. We're not saying this might happen. We're saying that there is a documented history of this happening over and over and over again.
Yes.
You are fucking facilitating it now. You are allowing him to do this. People are going to lose money and it will be your fault because you have been warned. Fuck those guys.
Yep. But most importantly, fuck Lance Benedict.
Yes. Most importantly,
at least until our TTMs arrive.
I'm still waiting to hear from his lawyers. You know, I was told that I was going to be hearing from his lawyers.
Still,
yeah,
Lance, if you're listening, come on, hurry up.
Who would have thought it?
Maybe they're busy.
Yeah, I would think right now they're very busy, especially as you know he doesn't have any lawyers.
That's you at the bottom of the list there.
Yeah.
Hi, my name's Lance Benedict. I'm a lawyer.
But this, you know, actually, if you look at his profile on Facebook, he does list himself as a lawyer.
Fuck off.
Or that he's going to some law school. Like, yeah, actually, this reminds me, like, if anything, I should be going after the guy as well, because he defamed me. He absolutely defamed me.
Yes.
He publicly labelled me an extortionist, didn't want to back up any of those claims.
Yep.
Bad move. But this is why you don't chase people like that, because you'd be going to the end of a very, very fucking long line of people that want a lot more money from him.
But you're an extortionist. He begged you to take videos down that had evidence in them, and you said, no.
Yeah.
And he says, oh, please, I'll do anything. And then you agreed to a deal, and that was you extorting him. That's how it worked. I remember that.
I know.
You bad man.
Okay, so should we talk about Metallica?
Yes, let's do it.
This is sad.
This is sad. This is genuinely sad.
You want to go?
Go for it. So, I'll just read the tweets. Metallica tweeted out on 28th of September of this year at 1 a.m. a note from Lars, Kirk and Rob. We are truly sorry to inform our fans and friends that we must postpone our upcoming tour of Australia and New Zealand. As most of you probably know, our brother James has been struggling with addiction on and off for many years. He has now, unfortunately, had to re-enter a treatment program to work on his recovery again. We fully intend to make our way to your part of the world as soon as health and schedule permit. We'll let you know as soon as we can. Once again, we are devastated that we have inconvenienced so many of you, especially our most loyal fans who travel great distances to experience our shows. We appreciate your understanding and support for James, and thank you for being part of our Metallica family. All tickets purchased to the shows in Australia and New Zealand, including enhanced experiences and black tickets, will be fully refunded. More details on how to are below in a couple of links.
Now, you know who the special guest on this tour was, don't you?
No?
Oh, you can see it in the...
Oh, Slipknot, great.
Yeah, so...
What did Corey Taylor think?
Exactly.
I'm fucking sick of saying it now.
I know, but yeah. Yeah, this is a real shame, isn't it? I don't think anybody's going to read this and be mad. I don't think anyone's going to read this and think, oh, what arseholes.
No, but there are some people who are a piece of shit. So, I've not seen any crawling that would work gladly.
Interestingly, it's the same as Michael Keane, right? Not that James Hetfield has a heroin addiction, but yeah, like when you have problems, they need to be dealt with. And the best way of dealing with them is fucking dealing with them, not just trying to go out on the road and make a pig's ear out of it.
No, I think James has learnt his lesson from doing that in the past. He's understands his own history of cool. Temptation's definitely out there. Maybe I should go down the route of trained professionals.
Yeah. So genuinely, like I don't really consider myself a Metallica fan anymore. I've not been a fan of Metallica since I was like 17.
But you can't deny their influence on you the world. Greater.
And I know many people will have been looking forward to these tours. Looking forward to going and seeing those guys. So it's a shame that's happening.
Did you ever learn to play Master of Puppets all down picks?
I mean, no.
I tried it and I got about. I don't even think I made it to the and I was like, nope, that's enough of that.
Yeah, it just tires you the fuck out, doesn't it? What was I going to say before I was so rudely interrupted?
I am sorry. Addiction issues.
No, it's just gone. Just disappeared.
That seems to be like the
we're both very
episode.
tired.
Yes.
Yeah, we've both been absolutely through the ringer. But yeah, real shame. I know, like, as I say, lots of people have been looking forward to these shows. Okay, the segue in my mind has appeared. I also think I read that Ozzy Osbourne is cancelling his European shows again.
Really?
Yeah, if I recall.
I don't think they're going to happen.
I don't think they're going to happen either. Though apparently he's recorded a new album with Post Malone's producer, so...
That was good of Post Malone to put him on the map.
I know, yeah.
You know?
What a great guy.
I know.
Mark Bell with tattoos. Yeah, I can't unsee it.
Fuck off.
I just can't unsee it now. Every time I see it, I'm just like, it's Mark Bell. Which is hilarious because Jay super fancies Post Malone. And I'm like, you've got a type pen. Yeah, we can talk about people that we know on the podcast. They don't listen.
Oh, good lord. I don't say you could fancy Post Malone. I saw a comment, somebody saying, like, do you not think he looks like what halitosis smells like?
Yeah.
So rude. Anyway, never mind. Sorry.
Okay, so our funny find of the week. I actually really enjoyed this. I'm just going to bring this up.
You say funny, right? I mean, is it stupid if it works?
Well, no.
So let's explain it for people who are listening.
It's interesting engineering.
Yes. So, interesting is a good way to put it. That's very fair. So, for those who are listening and can't see, on screen we have the headstock of a Squire Telecaster with 6 standard machine heads, rosewood fretboard, blah, blah, blah. But then it's got 6 holes in the headstock next to the tuners with additional tuners through there for a 12-string.
Yeah, someone has converted a Squire Telecaster into a 12-string Telecaster. And when you look at it from the back and the side, like it's mad.
But so well done though.
Yeah, someone's clearly, put time and effort into this, but it was my funny find of the week. It's Yeah,
credit where credit's due, as you say. It's very clever engineering.
That was some cool engineering, and is it just? Oh, okay. So they've made multiple of them. They made 20 of them. 18 of them have sold.
Wait a wee minute. Let's have a wee look because it says Telecaster 12-string conversion. Do you think you send your guitar to them and they just do it?
That's a good
question. Let's have a look.
No, custom conversions.
That's cool. It's very clever.
Variations option
Fender
for radio,
Telecaster as a 12-string was only available from Fender as a custom shop version starting at approximately $2,000, utilising a huge paddle headstock. The last eBay auction for one of these started at approximately $3,400.
Yeah.
Wow. But
So for $550, it's a steal.
that's it.
Okay.
You're so preoccupied in working out whether you could, you forgot to think whether you should.
Do you want to talk about another shit plank?
Go for it. Because I haven't seen this yet. Oh. 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 Oh.
Okay, so the story with this got posted up in one of the groups. A guy had pre-ordered one of the Abassis. Then, after getting no information on when the hell it was going to be ready, he cancelled his order and got a refund. And then last week they sent him an email and essentially said, that guitar's ready. Just wanted to see if you were still interested in it. Giving him first refusal, which is a nice touch.
Okay, fair enough. It's good customer service at least.
Yeah, but everyone has looked through these pictures and gone, big yikes.
First thing that got me about this picture, for obviously people that are listening can't see it, it's if you've seen the Abassi shape, that kind of weird single cut ergonomic, is those wonky dots. I don't know, something about the dots on the fan fret just doesn't go.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people have...
String spacing might just be the resolution of the picture.
Yeah.
Doesn't look fantastic.
So I want to get ahead of all the things you're saying here, because I agree with some of the criticisms that people have had over the criticisms. It's very difficult to judge a guitar from a picture like this. Right?
Totally.
Some people have looked
so
at this and they've said, well, that string angle doesn't look very good on that low string. And other people are looking at it like, well, that bridge pickup isn't going to pick up very much of that low string.
It's a fucking bar pickup, of course it will.
Yeah.
Anyway, regardless.
Yeah. So a few other pictures, though.
What is going on with that neck joint?
Yeah, like why would you make it? Why would you? So for those listening, as you slide your thumb up the neck and it moves on to the where the body joins the neck, there's a ridge.
And that's what, like the 13th fret?
That is a good question. Where is
It's very close. 13th.
Yeah, it's at the 13th fret. So a nice ridge that you need to get your thumb over. In theory, actually, this joint is quite interesting. I kind of like the way it looks, but
it's just a copy of the Washburn neck.
That Nuno thing. Yeah.
Exactly. Whatever it's called.
I forget what that's called, but that's patented to someone.
Totally. I'm just going to go out, before we go any further into pictures, and for anyone who's going to go and look it up, it looks as if Tosin Abassi has went, cool, I want to be a prestige bass guitar builder, but I don't play bass.
Yeah.
That's like the kind of thing you'd expect from like Wild Basses or somebody weird that does strange things like the Class basses and stuff.
Again, can't make these judgments just by looking at it, but I just look at this neck and it looks like all of this has been done on the cheap. And in the defense of Abassi, the guy that ordered this did say, I literally went for the bass options for absolutely everything. Didn't even have the guitar painted. It was still $2,800 though, if memory serves me.
My criticism at this point, see if you zoom in at the headstock, that volute is wonky.
Yeah, it does appear to be wonky.
It's not even been shaped. It might just be the angle of the picture. It might be sitting at an angle.
Yep.
But that volute looks wonky, which might not make too much of a difference, but is a bit of a oversight, in my opinion.
Almost like maybe buying guitars from people that have no experience building and designing guitars isn't the best idea. And if you are going to go that route, like Ola England has, then the idea of them having them made in a factory by people that build guitars and then importing them and dealing with them, I have more faith in that than this, where we know the history of the Abassi guitars. Everything went tits up with Frank Falbo, and now these are Grover Jackson, right?
Is he?
Yeah, Grover Jackson's doing these. Obviously, a man that has a lot of history in building guitars. A lot of history in building guitars, that's right? But not these guitars. You know what I mean? Like this is an entirely different beast.
It's not a Super Strat.
It's like, it's undeniable that Leo Fender designed and built some cool guitars, right? But if you went to Leo Fender in the early 50s and said, right, I want you to make me an 8-string guitar, probably wouldn't have come out as good as it should have. In fact, we know this to be the case because Fender did make a 7-string Telecaster, the Alex Gregory signature model, that was shown off at trade shows but never officially released.
The Maestro?
Yeah, the Maestro Alex Gregory. And
You will call him by his full title, Levi.
Yeah.
Else face the punishment.
I really need to do a video on him, to be honest.
Oh, man.
So
Give
more
like your
pictures.
version of Mad Lads.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Just looks like some cheap. Is it ash?
There you can really see that ridge. Like
That's
that is
weird,
a
isn't it?
big ridge. If you're needing to literally play around the 13th fret, you need to make a decision on which part of the neck you want to have your thumb on.
The full back of the rest of that fret or neck, sorry, not the fretboard, is almost flat.
Yeah.
I'm not wanting to say anything that sounds shitty on that because I'd like to try something like that. I don't know how it would feel.
Yeah.
But as someone who instinctively puts his thumb over the side of the neck, that would fuck with me, I think.
Yeah.
But I'd try it because it might correct my terrible posture. You know what it looks like? And I don't mean this with any disrespect. It looks like an Agile.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
Same finish, like almost exactly the same kind of level of finish, that satin top, like not terrible, not mega priced, but still pretty good looking. They were always pretty good at doing extended range stuff.
Yeah.
My first ever 8-string, my only 8-string that I've owned actually was an Agile, and it was great. But yeah, like, aye, interesting.
Okay.
Grover Jackson, what are you thinking? Oh, we're not coming to this, are we? So, a story about people, a story from people whose opinions don't matter, on people whose opinions don't matter.
Oh, my guitar reports. Polyphia's Henson.
Tim Henson, wasn't it?
Polyphia's Henson talks why guitar music is no longer cool and says he only listens to rap.
Oh, I listen to his rap, the guitarist says.
Yeah.
What a stupid tagline after saying he only listens to rap
Yeah.
and the actual fucking title. Anyway,
This actually, the interview wasn't even with Ultimate Guitar, it was with Music Radar.
just before we go any further, there's 2 points I want to make, right? First of all, who gives a fuck what Tim Henson says? If he really thought guitar music wasn't cool, he wouldn't be writing guitar music that he's trying his hardest to sell himself on.
Yeah.
And bringing out signature pickups and guitars and making that point and pushing the band's aesthetic, etc. And secondly, look at the upvote, downvote fucking disparity on this fucking article. There's 8 upvotes and 107 downvotes.
So just this week I saw a similar, not exactly the same, but that is the same mentality of article from Pete Townshend from The Who, right? Saying how guitar music's dead. With
Again?
both Pete and Tim, right, I'm not interested in your opinions.
I'm going to go one even further and say, and we'll put allegedly in just to avoid any sort of legal things, right? I didn't listen to Pete Townshend's opinion even before he was outed as being a paedophile. Allegedly.
I would actually stick heavily to the allegedly on that one because I don't think there's any weight to those.
It was just researching for a book.
Yeah, I don't think there's weight to those. They would have found a lot more info on him. I would think people don't get away with that one. Yeah.
Tell that to
Actually,
fucking
you know
Jimmy
what?
Savile.
There's a kind of follow up that we need to do on Phil Anselmo.
Oh, okay.
On the Phil Anselmo.
Uh-huh.
That YouTuber, some black guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was initially one of the guys that really ripped into Phil and brought a lot of attention to that.
Okay.
He actually did release an apology video just recently to Phil because of a lot more information that he jumped into, and he may have taken Phil a little bit out of context. So we all know the video of Phil throwing up the salute and saying white power.
Mm-hmm.
But more info on the story seems to be that there were a bunch of people abusing him in the front row of the audience for the entirety of the show, saying, say something racist, we love racist people, be racist. And he was goading them and eventually, out of rage, did that to them. I know, it's one of those, but it kind of comes back to what we talked about super earlier on in the podcast, where I say that you're very left-leaning, which is someone's been outed as racist, lynch him. Whereas actually, it's innocent until proven guilty. What we can say is he absolutely gave a white power salute and said white power on stage.
Absolutely.
But there's not a whole lot more history of him having issues with race. Growing up with black people, donating a lot of money to help impoverished black communities. He grew up in black communities. So where I'm not going to say he isn't a racist. I'm now not going to say he is a racist. I'm going to say more information might be needed.
Yes.
It's very easy to it's that Antifa thing again, right? It's very easy to jump in with a mob mentality. Everyone's like pointing and going,
I don't think we've done that, though. I think what happened was... Well, maybe, but the story was presented from so many sources without that other context that it's hard to look past that and go, is there other context? Because you would think anyone else who had done that research would have found that. That must have been either incredibly hard to find, suppressed, or people weren't interested.
But that's exactly it, right? The media goes into a frenzy when a story like this happens, and they spin it out of all proportion. And this actually isn't the original story, the Polyphia one. This is them reporting on what Music Radar reported on, and now we're reporting on what Ultimate Guitar reported on. So you got this kind of Chinese whispers thing going on, and yeah, it's difficult.
Well,
go on.
I was just sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say maybe we should read what his quote is before it's been butchered, just to see. Right, if I'm going, his point doesn't matter, what a fucking arsehole, when maybe he's saying something that makes sense.
Well, I will actually come back to what Tim and Pete said, but on the Phil front, you and I was like, when he came up, when we mentioned him in the podcast, we both instantly jumped to, fuck that guy. Mm-hmm. Because...
he called for Dime to be killed, that's why I was just saying, fuck that guy. Anything else is just a fucking... Yeah. It's just fucking glitter on the turd.
But so if...
Can't polish it, but you can certainly roll it in glitter.
If there was an interview where Phil Anselmo talked about that night, right, that'd be the last thing I'd be interested in watching. Like, not interested in what he has to say. Mm-hmm. And that's actually a bad position to be in, taking that I'm not interested in what this person has to say. Having said that, I do have issues with the That Black Guy video, Some Black Guy video, where he essentially issues an apology to Phil because... he has a better understanding of the situation, and because of some of the things that Phil has said about the situation, but also at the same time, to take on board everything Phil says in defense of himself means to discredit Rob Flynn. And that whole situation blew up because Rob Flynn was the one that made a video talking about racism in metal, and he made a lot of accusations about things that Phil Anselmo had said backstage.
Yes. Is that Rob jump on anything he can get for attention, Flynn?
Exactly.
Rob Flynn that definitely stole an SYL riff for the last fucking Machine Head album. So
it's a super difficult one. But someone did mention it in the comments in a previous video, and I did read and watch the video, and definitely made me go, maybe I shouldn't jump to conclusions as much as I like to. Regarding Pete and Tim, I don't care what Pete's view is on whether guitar music is dead or not, because I would be very surprised if he's even bothered listening and keeping up with things that were relevant in guitar music, because, you know, his band, The Who, were popular before the mega explosion of guitar popularity, right? Mm-hmm. Before guitar technique really fucking took off. And I'm sure he didn't fucking follow that with bated breath. And Tim, like, I don't disagree with the idea that guitar music is dead. People are less interested in it, right? I don't disagree with that. But what do you think you are? Some sort of fucking vampire prophet coming in and telling us all this? Shut up, motherfucker. Of course guitar music's dead. You think you're telling us this like it's new information? It's been dead since before you started to play guitar. Guitar wasn't popular when I started playing guitar, and I've been playing guitar for a very fucking long time.
But even besides all of that, it's... where it annoys me is the... guitar music is dumb and I hope it dies, but buy my signature pickups and guitar, bro.
Yeah, there is also that.
So if guitars are dumb and guitar music is dumb, why the fuck would I invest money in it?
Guitar music's been dumb since the early 90s when grunge music took off. Like, come on. But yeah, go on. I'll let you do the quotes.
Right, I'll read through it, right? Can I read it in a really silly voice?
By all means. Do you want a glass of wine to sit around?
No, that's enough.
Pretentious little cunt.
Satan. I see it being less guitar-centred and more music... Sorry, asked for an opinion on what the future of guitar music is. Tim replied, I see it being less guitar-centred and more musical because I hope that guitar music dies. I want it to die a painful death because so much of it is just bullshit. I feel like people should focus more on the music itself and use the guitar as a tool to make music versus like, I'm going to play guitar music. You know what I mean? Because so much of it is just not good. Now, that's very pretentious for someone who is an instrumental band where the main instrument is two guitars. Like, I get that you're doing something a wee bit different, but it's also not that different.
It's still just guitar music.
Yep, you've just went, cool, so Steve Vai and Satriani, etc., they wrote theirs and they just had one kind of main guitar for the melody. We're going to funk it up a bit. and have two guitars with melodies and counter harmony and we'll play off against each other. It'll be really cool. Like,
and if Tim really felt that way, surely he'd write his music the way he does, and then he'd pay a flute player to play it.
that's it. Fire it on a fucking piano.
Because it doesn't. If you're a composer, it's the instrument. Well, the instruments that you choose to use on your music do make a big difference to how your music is perceived. But it's not as simple as just going, well, guitar music's dead, let's just write my music. No, all music fucking matters. It could be what I kind of enjoy? I really enjoy like lullaby arrangements of popular rock, metal and Disney songs. So you can go and lullaby arrangements of Disney music, and it's like the kind of thing that you'd have in a children's mobile over the bed, and you hear them with like metal bands and stuff like that. And
please never play this near me.
Nothing's changed. Like, it's still Metallica's Master of Puppets, but it's just been arranged in a different way with that.
It's just the same as hearing Apocalyptica do a cover. It's just the same song on a different medium. That's fine. Yeah. That's cool. Okay.
So, but I do actually really like your point there, where you're like, guitar music's dead, but he's still trying to sell his guitar and his pickups. But
wait, there's more. Wait for the rest of the quote, right? So I think the boringness should die a painful death. As far as effects and stuff go, I use a lot of vocal effects, like the vocoder that's on Rich Kids. That sounds nothing like a guitar. Then, and as far as the future of it goes, me and Scott have been working really hard to bring guitar to mainstream music. Like, I work with a lot of hip-hop producers, and we've been writing for some bigger bands. There's lots bringing in cooler guitar parts to things that are much bigger than us. I thought guitars were dying.
I thought you wanted it to die a painful death.
Right, and then so that eventually you'll get to turn on the radio again and hear guitar on the radio and whatever hip hop song is happening, some good guitar actually. So that way the future of guitar is cool again, because I think it just got lost in translation of what it was cool in the 80s when it was super cool. You look back on it and that shit is dumb corny. That's why it's no longer cool, because it's literally not.
How old is Tim Henson?
Fucking 10.
I don't know how old he is, but I'm relatively confident he has no experience of what music was like in the 80s.
That is 4 paragraphs of nothing.
Of contradiction. Yeah.
Of nothing. How is this a sentence? That's why it's no longer cool, because it's literally not. Because I think it was just lost in translation of what was cool in the 80s when it was super cool. You look back on it and it's shit is dumb corny. Like, what? Speak English, you fucking idiot. Yeah.
So, actually, the thing I really enjoy about this is the arrogance behind the idea of, I've been writing for bigger bands, and then this. So eventually, you'll turn on the radio and hear guitar on the radio and whatever hip hop song is happening. And then here's the part that really bugs me: some good guitar. Actually, what does that mean? What you're getting at there is not the bog standard stuff not the stuff that the hip hop producer that can play a little bit guitar, not the stuff that he put on the record, not the stuff that the producer thinks is appropriate for the record. Mm-hmm. No, the clever stuff that you can do, right? That's what you mean by good, isn't it? You mean clever, because what's wrong with Paul Jackson Jr. on these records, or David Williams, apart from the fact that he's dead, or Nile Rodgers, or whoever it happens to be, these funk guys that play on records like that, what are you talking about?
Prince must have been shit.
Mind when Daft Punk came out with whatever that song, Get Lucky?
Yeah. With
that had Nile Rodgers in the video.
Aye.
That was guitar music on the radio, right? What are you hoping to achieve, Tim? I don't want any of your stupid fucking tapping shit in hip hop records. And if you do, I'm not going to go, oh, bravo, guitar's fucking back. No.
I think there's space for just about any instrument in any genre if you can do it tastefully. And it doesn't have to be that you have to fit the genre if you can just make it be an interesting part of the music. That's cool. Maybe that's what you're trying to say. I hope that's what you're trying to say. But what it comes across as guitars, they're dumb corny, except when we play them. Because we make them not dumb corny. Buy your shit. Kiss 2.
I've seen the stupidest comment of all time. All I listen to is rap, and then Scott, the other guitarist, turns around and says, rap, hip-hop. I fucking love metal. I grew up listening to metal. I was in the womb, and my parents would put fucking Iron Maiden on the TV, and Judas Priest and shit, and Pantera. So I was fed that from a very young age. -1, even. Cool.
I mean, I go through phases of, I like this more than this, but it's mostly hip-hop and metal, and that type of shit. You've described every single person I know that plays guitar and is into metal. Oh, cool, I like some rap too.
Yeah.
Like, just to go back on our point and talk about Phil Anselmo and missing context, right?
Sure.
Benefit of the doubt, but they come across as a pair of utter wanks.
Yep, and benefit of the doubt, right? People need to remember that what we're doing here with the Guitar Styles podcast is it's a comedy podcast. Our sole purpose is not to really influence you in anything. We just want to make you laugh.
Yeah, here's my opinion. Who the fuck cares what I think?
Yeah.
In much the same sense I can say who the fuck cares what Tim Henson thinks.
Yes.
He's fucking levels above me in success in terms of musicality. Fair play to the guy. Fucking credit where credit's due. I can't give him a hard time for that.
I dig a lot of his music too. Like,
him and fucking, what's the other guitarist called? Scott. They're both fantastic guitarists. They're great writers, but it's not really for me. But that's just me. Like, that's completely subjective.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares? Who actually fucking cares? You like what you like, and you don't like what you don't like. I like Buckethead. Levi's wrong.
Yeah, that is true. And I like country music, and the rest of the world is wrong.
That's it. The common denominator is the rest of the world being wrong.
That's the story of my life, mate. Once
Saying
again,
that,
me there with the sword running into battle. The rest of the world's wrong.
I can't give you a hard time when we've had this conversation of like, I don't think I could ever get into country music, and you're like, you should listen to Brad Paisley's Play, and I put that on, and as soon as it was on, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Not only is he a phenomenal player, these are some cool fucking songs.
Yeah, he's
if Snoop Dogg comes on and does a wee cameo on your album, you're probably cool.
Yeah, you probably made it. Okay, I think this is the final story of the day. Gibson has mysteriously pulled every video from its YouTube channel. That's wild, right? That is...
It genuinely is. I know I kind of was like, oh my God, just being sarcastic. Ooh. But yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy.
One of our friends, our mutual Irish friend, reached out to me to let me know that this had happened. And he said, I've also heard rumours that Mark Agnesi's been fired.
No.
Right. And I was like...
Is this why he's been seen in so many music shops?
Oh, no. It's looking for a job.
Hey, guys, play Authentic. Can I play your brand?
I didn't believe those for a second. I didn't believe that for a second. When he said to me, Gibson have taken down their videos, I assumed what he was talking about was those Mark Agnesi videos. No.
Oh, sorry, the Play Authentic
but
one.
But they were pulled anyway, like a day after they went live.
Of course.
The only reason that they've been, reposted in all their glory is because people had the sense to download them.
Here's an interesting fact, and I want you all, anyone who's listening or watching, to take this in, right? And it doesn't need context any further than what I'm going to say. As soon as you put something on the internet, it is immortal. Simple as that.
Yeah.
A silly status, a picture of your willy, a video, aggressive comments, it is immortal. And you know what? There is fuck all you can do about that. Just accept it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
There's probably things on the internet that I have posted or done when I was younger that might come back to bite me in the ass. There's probably the same for you.
Oh, yeah, and they have.
But no one, and I mean fucking no one, can say they're invulnerable against that blade. That is Occam's razor.
Yeah. Yep. Those videos, they're never going anywhere.
Sorry.
Very, very strange that they would delete all their videos. But yeah, I was never jumping on the bandwagon that Mark Agnesi had been fired. Was never going to believe that. Just simply that was never going to be the case. But he will have been fed a script, to have read in that video. They're not going to fire him over it. And more importantly, he was doing that very notable press tour recently where he was going around and shaking as many hands and taking as many pictures as he could. But a company doesn't let someone go and do that and go, cool, you're fired.
Well, I mean, they could have went, cool, you followed their every command, but people still think you are a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, you are not the head of our brand anymore.
Yeah.
Does happen.
That'd be fair. So
here, Mark, can you hold that sword for us, please? Just don't fall on it.
That's what's going to happen to me one day, mate. I'm just going to fall on my own sword because I'm the only one with one in my hand.
And I will be the only guitar soul left. There can be only one.
Okay, I like it. A Highlander. A Highlander.
That's why I bought a Goliath.
Yeah.
Headless joke, get it?
A look at Gibson's YouTube channel reveals that, and this is just me reading from Guitar World's website, a look at Gibson's YouTube channel reveals that the company presence on the platform, including all of its videos, has been completely wiped out. The presence of Gibson Entertainment, a channel run in tandem with Gibson Guitar, has also been completely erased. Even more interestingly, Epiphone's YouTube channel appears to have been left unscathed by this development. Oh, have you seen that Epiphone are changing their headstock to make them more like the Gibsons?
Fuck off.
Mate,
Are you, what, as in like open book?
Yeah.
As in how they used to be, and then they decided not to do anymore because people were counterfeiting Gibsons from them. What are Gibson doing?
yeah, Gibson are bringing this in as the new Epiphone headstock.
I think, right, and this...
It's not much better, is it? It's still what I describe as the Weight Watchers headstock. It still gets skinny in the middle for no reason.
Yeah.
Other than so people can, tell at a glance that you're poor. You couldn't afford the genuine article.
It looks like Mick Jagger's lips at the top. It's just... But, like, neither of them are really
Yeah.
that nice.
You don't crave either of them.
I actually think, right, Gibson, just write business terms, ideas, fucking directions that can go with the business, and post-it notes, put them all on the wall, get somebody to come in blind and throw darts. That's this week's achievement.
Yeah, I can't understand why they would have done this. Like, it's never...
There's no logic.
Yeah, it just makes absolutely no sense. Unless they're trying to somehow delete their history of existing and they're trying to genuinely start afresh. The mind boggles. The mind absolutely boggles.
The only term I can think of is destroy, erase, improve. And I think that must mean that Meshuggah are going to be Gibson endorsees. They're going to play the broken Firebird X's.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Sorry, I went deep.
Yeah, no, I like it. So that's it on the Gibson front. There was one other thing that I guess I had to make mention of, the new Iperf album.
You did mention about that, yeah? Yeah. I haven't heard it yet.
Iperf have a new album. I listened to it. I didn't really rate it. Like, it didn't jump out at me. Michael Ackerfeld's obviously been in the news quite a lot recently because new album out, so wants to do as much press-related things as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a lot of comments about, like, not wanting to do metal and being tired of metal. And
Don't say that.
Like, Mike Portnoy, there's been talks about doing a project, but I just don't really want to do anything metal. And you can tell listening to the album. I liked it when Opeth did Heritage.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was dark, it was heavy. This album is dark. I'll give it that. It's got moments of dark to it, but I'll be honest, I didn't make it all the way through the album. I got maybe 2/3 of the way through it.
Mm-hmm.
And during that period, nothing just jumped out as being heavy. And I want something heavy. I need that heavy payoff. So there wasn't anything. And that disappointed me. But I did take the time to sit and listen to it.
Speaking of heavy, have you listened to the new Car Bomb album?
No, I don't know who that is.
Imagine Meshuggah and Dillinger Escape Plan had a baby.
Right.
Like, the coolest, heaviest, most insane math metal you've ever heard, with the weirdest, coolest videos. They dropped an album like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
And you say they're called Car Bomb.
Car Bomb. Levi, after the podcast, I'm going to show you a Car Bomb video and we can listen to it. Phenomenal. It's really weird because you'll have these weird, nonsensical, fucking just down-tuned riffs into bits that sound like the Deftones are really nice and musical, but then don't actually make a lot of musical sense because the chords have got funny notes over the top of them. It's just... you like it?
The joy of working out in the studio and doing all this DIY stuff is I have got my Wi-Fi out there and I've got my Sonos out there, so I can listen to music out there. So I have been enjoying some music.
Good.
But the thing I've been enjoying is Steel Panther's new album.
Haven't heard it. Is it good?
I mean, it's just more Steel Panther. It's nothing to write home about. It's not going to change the world. After a few listens, you've got the joke kind of thing. But
Yeah.
that showed up in my Spotify.
Supreme parody hair metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what you're gonna do or where you go, you're always gonna be a hoe. Whoa.
It's very nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's Car Bomb's album called? I'll tell you.
Seeing if anything else jumps up in my Spotify. Apparently it needs to install Spotify, so that might be us.
Where are you?
Bit of dead air. Who doesn't love a bit of dead air?
I know, that's the best thing, isn't it? Meta.
Spotify.
Sounds called.
Spotify is loaded. It's difficult for me to look through my...
Mordial.
What, the name of the album?
Mordial. Mordial. Look it up. Even the artwork is fucking mental.
Okay.
That's like the kind of thing that your auntie would have in her hall in a frame in the 90s.
Bring it up for people.
Look at it, isn't it? That is like a 90s framed photo.
Yeah.
At least in Glasgow. I don't know about anywhere else in the world.
No, I'd expect that to be in the background of Patrick Bateman's apartment in American Psycho. That would be on a wall somewhere.
Do you like math metal?
Hey, Paul, do you like math metal?
Somebody sent Party Cannon a Photoshop of him holding a Party Cannon album with a spiel underneath it when it came out. Man, I was killing myself laughing.
Nice.
I'll let you try and find it and send you it.
Cool. Well, I think that's us. I think we are done for the day.
And it's time for you to listen to Car Bomb.
Yeah, big thank you to our sponsor and supporter, Ormsby Guitars. We would encourage you to go on over and check out their new runs of guitars, and maybe consider placing an order if you see something that you like the look of, and obviously, most importantly, tell us if you do, because we love looking at pictures of these damn guitars. I hear ours are being posted Tuesday.
Potentially,
that's what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
I'm happy to wait. I think there's a bit of excitement in not knowing when it's going to land.
I'm very impatient because I've been in this house for 2 months now, and I've still not bought any of my guitars over from Hayley's parents'
So
house.
is this going to be like the first one?
I need a guitar, and sure, I could like drive over to their house and get a guitar, or I could just wait for one to be sent to me from Australia. So I'm going to go with that.
That makes sense, doesn't it? It's logistically more intelligent.
I'm really busy, so it'd be better if the guitar could come to me rather than...
Joke's on you though, because the two of them are getting delivered to me.
You live across the road.
I know. No, the best part being, it's probably going to be like, I'll be working that day. Levi, do you want to just get them?
Yeah. Cool. So thank you very much, Ormsby Guitars. Please do go check them out. All our love goes out to those guys. And for those of you that are still watching or listening, thank you so much for your support. We do love and adore you. And thank you very much for listening. Please do tell a friend, tell an enemy, share some of our comedy opinions and our politically ignorant rantings and ravings. And go and watch the Clive Palmer video, because that's absolutely fucking glorious.
Have an ex-con do a jail tattoo of Levi's face on your bicep.
I've got room here. I could probably have my own face, and I am the kind of guy that would get my own face tattooed on me, aren't I?
You could have both our faces, and when you flex with smile,
I'm tattooed up there.
You're a fucking serpent.
I know. Cool. So again, like, share, comment, subscribe. Go and check out our t-shirts on Teespring, and until next time,
bye, fuckers.